It's been thought of his attribute as a professional hero.
More interest in this work than perhaps any other photographer I've ever met.
It's a big problem trying to get her work into institutions. The art world establishment still won't recognize Vivian's work. Museums usually deal with the final product, the print. It was made by the artist. They don't want to interpret an artist's work from where they left off. It's bogus because Jerry Winogrand had a desk full of rolling film that he never developed. Eugene F.J.'s work printed after his death and then ended up being acquired by MoMA. I mean, it's frustrating because it's being done but nobody wants to do it for Vivian. She did print some of her work, but it was largely not the best edit of her work. She was a masterful...
He is breaking down under the pressure.
It's common, though. I mean, Cartier-Bresson hated printing, and Robert Frank wasn't a good printer, but they hire printers. They hire somebody to print for them. Good work is good work, and it's recognized that this is really great art. I do think her work needs to be appreciated by the world. Just on your prints? Cool. Yeah, these are great. Thank you for showing me. The only way this work can move forward is if there's money that is made. The sale of prints will be a part of that. Of course, I wish that I could give her money. You know, she's gone. I mean, there's nothing I can do.
She always had money for me. God knows she probably could use too bad she wasn't discovered 10 years earlier. Here's the picture of Miss Myers. Right. I wouldn't call her Vivian because, you know, she had a gut for garters if you called her that. Not Mrs., not Miller. She was Mrs. Myers. She was my governess when I was 5 years old, up until I was about 11 years old. Now that was my baby book exactly. It was like March of 67 on about 1974.
Inger and I were best friends, and so I would spend a lot of time with Miss Meyer.
She ditched us. We were all taking a walk together. She walked down the alley and just disappeared. The police finally found us. I just wanted to scare us. And I remember getting lectured by the police.
He saw it!
Your babysitter? And me saying, no. My babysitter left me.
Feet on the ground. Through Fallon.
Where all of a sudden there's a kid screaming in the basement with the door shut and the lights off. You know, that kind of thing.
She was mean. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. She had like a dark side. I remember one time she said, these men have you sit on their laps, and then you'll feel something poking you. And I can't remember the context of what she said that, but it just was, she had this like anger in her towards men. And now I know exactly what she was talking about, but as a kid, I knew what she was saying was and a little not right.
I've seen her more than once jump back in fear, you know, from a man. You said it several times over several years. Men, all they were out to was ruin you, stay away from them, be careful of them. You know, that all they want is sex.
She was always afraid of being touched.
I remember she was standing up on the stump taking a picture of some sort of incident. The man apparently thought she was falling. He reached up and all she saw was a man reaching for her and she decked him. She thought he was attacking her. I gave him a concussion. I sent him to the hospital.
I would bet money that she was brutalized in some way, attacked in some way, or, you know, molested, whatever. I hate to say that, but something happened to her that was awful. Because nobody would act like the way she did.
I remember some of the more strong emotions. It's harder to remember some of the other. I don't know if you want to go into this, but I will. I mean, there were things that happened to me that would not. Smart was forcing me to eat because I wasn't finishing it on my plate. My parents.
Oh my God.
And my dad got angry. My dad found out exactly how it was.
I'm surprised he's in normal clothes.
She would pull me down. She would shove the food in my throat, and then she would choke me until I would swallow. And she would do that over and over again. There was very much of a dark side to it that I have not gone into. She would lose it sometimes. The first time she hit me was when I was 5 years old because I was trying to learn to tie my shoelaces. And I wasn't doing it right.
But there's one right there.
She started slamming my head into the side of the bookcase. I mean, she wouldn't hit me in the face. Obviously, I didn't have bruises there. But she grabbed me and slammed me in the face when she got me upset. I was 8 years old. After that, she didn't do that again. I was stronger. She was a brilliant person. And I think she really cared. And I think she.
Oh, they caught him.
And I don't know if any of the others will ever talk about that, if it ever happened. I don't know. Maybe she got it together. I'm hoping she did.
I really hate saying these things about her because I've always felt guilty about not doing it. My husband and I were talking then about having a foster child. Vincent.
Tornado hype. Tornado hype. That ass though.
But she meant it. I think she really wanted to be brought into being a member of our family. But that wasn't really what I had bargained for.
So there it is. And this little house, Miss Myers lived upstairs.
My father did provide room for her above his office. I only had a chance to see it once. Back when I snuck up behind her because she kept a padlock.
So yeah, this is totally different. This was the forbidden zone. No one was allowed to see where Miss Myers lived.
Miss Meyer went in there and she left the door open enough for me to see. And the room was literally filled with floors and newspapers.
See how the floor is open.
I told my dad, he said, oh, that's why the floor is sagging so much. He ended up having to put a steel, post in his office because the floor was sagging. He didn't know why. It was really cool.
This floor was Vivi's domain. It occurred to me that maybe I would need to go up there when she wasn't home, so she grudgingly gave me a key. And so I went in. You could tell where she had been walking, and it was just this narrow path that you could just barely traverse.
Horse head.
Where would the bed have been right here? Stacks of newspapers almost to the ceiling. You may think I'm exaggerating. No, I'm not.
It was that tall guy.
high stacks of paper, how she even could get to the paper. I don't even know how much she even looked at the paper. I began to see that she was stacking newspaper elsewhere in the house, in the basement, and in the back. We have a little back entryway, and she would stack newspaper out there. Now, the idea was always that there were articles she wanted to save for the day when she did get around to cutting out the parts that she wanted to keep. It concerned me, but I thought, whatever.
I gave her a ride to her place of employment. I looked at her desk